Hello everyone, welcome to New Community Connecting You to Resources. My name is Rodney Brutton and I serve as the host for today's program, and I'm also the Director of Workforce Development for New Community Corporation Workforce Development Center. Today we're joined by Ms. Aziza Johnson, our admissions representative and student recruiter, and we'll learn more about Aziza's role, her background, and how it ties into today's work. So welcome, Aziza.
Thank you for having me.
Great. So tell us a little bit about your background, some of the work you've done that led you to your role here at New Community Workforce Development Center.
Sure. So I started with the Newark Youth One Stop, Mayor's Office of Employment and Training. When I first started, I was working for the SYEP program, the Summer Youth Program, and I was just a monitor. And I worked my way up to working with the WIOA team, where I was then certified as a WIOA youth counselor.
Great. So in your role with the City of Newark and the Youth One Stop and the WIOA counselor, what primarily were you tasked with in terms of recruiting students and Newark residents for respective programs?
Sure. So I was in charge of certification, making sure they had all their documents, making sure that they were actually ready to go into school or into a job or into a training program. I had to make sure that any barriers that they had, we either were able to service or we were able as an agency to help them with.
Great. So you were connecting some of the students to other resources within the city if they needed supportive services to get through whatever challenges they may have. When you talk of outreach and recruitment, how important was it to work with high schools and community groups to sort of get young people engaged in the programs that you were offering with the city?
Well, that was our major pull. The high schools, because we serviced the youth between 14 to 24 in the WIOA program, and then the same for the SYP program. That was our major pull.
And you were working with high schools and community groups in terms of recruitment, right? So when you look at sort of the recruiting role, and as it ties into your role here at New Community, what are some of the things you look for as a good candidate for either, again, in your role with the city, but moving forward, your role with New Community now?
Somebody that's eager, somebody that's actually ready to go into a training program. If they can keep up with their appointments, if they can bring in all their documents, if they can show that they're dedicated, if they can also follow up with me as I follow up with them, then that's definitely something that I look at. I also look at their living situation. Of course, you can't go and start a program if you have 5 kids at home and you don't have child care,
sure,
or you don't have transportation. You live all the way across town. So those are some of the things that we look at when it comes to the actual the recruiting aspect.
Great. Yep. Which is key, right? Because when you look at the work we do, and looking for the job seeker that's in essence ready to work, right? They're just one step away. We need to be able to connect them to different resources that they may need to get into the training program. When you think of our training programs at New Community and some of the areas that we recruit students for, what are the requirements to get into our programs?
So first, you have to be a U.S. citizen. You don't necessarily have to be a Newark resident, which opens it up to a lot more opportunities to students. We require you to have certain documents, such as birth certificate, social security card, and your high school diploma for the programs. For the programs, right? And that's similar to what you were asked and required to gather when you were working with the city in terms of some of the supporting documents for those in order to be certified. So when you think of our programs in New Community, we offer a culinary arts program, a construction building trades program that focuses on carpentry, electrical and plumbing, and HVAC as a trade. We have a clinical medical assistant program, patient care technician program, and a wonderful program automotive technician program sponsored by Ford. So Aziza, when we talk about our post-secondary programs and in your efforts to recruit students, what are some of the things you promote about our workforce programs as you recruit and then look to enroll students? One thing that I've learned a while ago, because I've worked with you in the past with your academic enrichment program when I was working with the city, is that in New Community is a different school in itself. New Community actually cares about the well-being of the student, which I can't really say for most other schools that I've dealt with in the past. As far as being concerned about their well-being. We really are nurturing. Sure. So we really do follow up, and we consider it as a family. Correct, and absolutely. And you look at our programs and you think of the goal of all of what we do is not only work to admit
students into our programs, but more importantly, work with students to get jobs on the back end.
And to keep them in the program as
Correct.
well.
And how important is that? How important is student retention and keeping them in the program, in your experience?
It's the most important thing, because if they come and they start the program and they don't finish, then there's no outcome. Then they might as well have started from point A again. But we're trying to get them from point A all the way to point Z. So that's I believe is one of the most important things.
Absolutely.
Completion. And employment.
Yep. Which is the next sort of topic I wanted to get your thoughts on in your previous role again with the city and even your expanded role at New Community. When you talk of employment and employer engagement, and you work with the Summer Youth Employment Program, working with a lot of employers within city government and outside city government in the private sector, what are employers looking for when they're recruiting candidates and job seekers?
Well, I also, after I worked with WIOA, the Summer Youth Program, I moved and I worked as a job developer. So establishing those type of relationships and actually finding out what the employer is looking for is key, because the jobs are changing every day. So if we're not training for what they're looking for now, then it's a lost cause.
Yeah.
So having that relationship, being able to correspond and going back and forth, that's really important. That's the key.
Great. And with the timing of today's program, and in essence what we're doing at New Community is we're gearing up for a next session of students to enroll in our programs in January. January 29th is the start date. So tell us a little about what you've been doing to recruit students for the January 29th session.
Okay, so we've been reaching out. It's not just myself. We have a team. Like I said, New Community, we work as a team, and I really love that. When I came in, I didn't feel like I was pinpointed out, although I am the recruiter. We have reached out to community organizations. I've reached out to several high schools and gotten a lot of good feedback. Like, a lot of people don't really know what New Community does. So getting the word out, getting our name out there has been one of my major tasks, and the feedback that I've been getting is really, really good.
So this session that's starting the 29th, we welcome those who are interested to contact New Community Workforce Development Center. Our phone number is 973-639-5604 or 973-824-6484 to learn more about the classes that are starting the 29th. So again, just share with the audience the classes that we're recruiting for.
Okay, so we have our we have our clinical medical assistant program. We have our patient care technician program that we're recruiting for, our automotive technician program, culinary arts and building trades that we're recruiting for.
Right.
And we do have open enrollment. So just because you missed the January 29th start date, the classes are set in modules, so that you will be able to start on the next start date for that next module.
Correct. Which the modules are every 4 to 5 weeks.
Right.
In between starting
depending
in the
on the
module.
program.
Yep. And again, for our audience, what are the requirements to enroll in the program?
Well, you have to be at least 18 years or older for the program. For those programs, you have to have your high school diploma, you have to have your ID, social security card, and birth certificate. And you also may have to take an entrance exam upon your orientation.
Great. And just talk to us a little about the instructional staff. You referenced the work we do as a team. What's your level of involvement with the instructors and the teachers and other staff at New Community?
Well, we have to be in communication on a consistent basis, because if something changes, that's something definitely that I need to know about. If you want to add something into the curriculum and somebody's calling and asking about a specific topic, then I want to be knowledgeable and be able to answer those questions. So we do really have a good relationship. We correspond on a daily basis.
And then in terms of the packaging of enrolling students in our program, what's your relationship and how closely do you work with the financial aid office?
It's my right hand. Ms. Hughes, I work very closely with her, even when it comes to my recruiting style, because you come through me and then you immediately go to her.
Yep.
So we work very close together.
And that's a very good point. If you sort of walk through the customer flow of enrollment into our programs, as Ms. Johnson referenced, you'd have to complete an application, bring in the supporting documents, then begin the financial aid process, which is led by Ms. Alicia Hughes, the Director of Financial Aid. So, Aziza, as we talk about the work we do and moving forward, what's your vision with regards to New Community Workforce Development Center and its place here
as a post-secondary accredited school? What's your vision, long-term vision for us as a school?
I just want to see it grow. It's a lot of great opportunities. A lot of people don't know about it. We do offer financial aid. We are accredited school, so those are key pointers that I would expect students to look for when they're looking to go back to school. And we have a lot of great programs. So I'm just looking forward to seeing the school grow.
Yep. And the wealth of potential for us to grow. And then an area of growth for us, and an area that we need to put an even greater emphasis on, is recruiting high school kids
Right.
who are graduating,
Right.
let's say this coming June. So tell us a little bit about how closely you're looking to work with high school students.
So I've already started. I've not been with New Community that long, but the feedback that I've gotten from the different counselors, the vice principals, their feedback is that they're interested in going out there and recruiting their students now. So a lot of them know that that college may not be for that student, so then they're referring them to me now. So I do intend on going out to different high schools, giving presentations, giving them more information about who we are and what we do.
Great, which is key, because that's an untapped market for us.
Right.
And as you reference all of the wonderful things we have at New Community, and if people don't know about it,
How
then
can they do
how can they
anything
do
about it?
anything? So again, just to share with our audience, New Community Workforce Development Center, is recruiting candidates for our next session, which is scheduled to start January 29th. Our school is located at 274 South Orange Avenue in Newark, New Jersey. For those who are interested, they can contact New Community Workforce Center directly at area 973-639-5604 or 973-824-6484 to learn more about our programs. We also encourage you to visit our website at www.newcommunity.org to learn more about New Community Workforce Development Center and all of New Community programs as a whole. So thank you, and we look forward to you signing up for our programs.